Cracks appear among Iran elite as senior figure calls for hijab policing rethink.
Here's a summary of the article.
The first cracks have started to appear among Iran's political elite over the country's month-long women-led protests, with a senior figure calling for a re-examination of the enforcement of compulsory hijab law and an acknowledgement that the protests have deep political roots, and are not simply the product of US or Israeli agitation. Internet blackouts have continued in an effort to stop the protesters gathering, as it has become increasingly clear that many on the streets are no longer only interested in the policing of the hijab, but want the entire regime overthrown. In a sign that the one-dimensional harsh line of the government is not universal, Larijani broke a long period of silence to question excessive state enforcement of the hijab, the issue that may have led to Amani's death. The hijab has a cultural solution, it does not need decrees and referendums. I appreciate the services of the police force and Basij, but this burden of encouraging the hijab should not be assigned to them, he said. He added, it's like a person has a migraine, but we write a prescription for him like a person with a heart disease and all its arteries are closed. In the issue of hijab, we were in this situation. Larijani pointed out that during the period of the Shah's rule prior to 1979, the hijab was not encouraged, but many people wore hijab voluntarily. He also rejected the widely promoted theory that Iran's Islamic society may crumble the way that Andalusia, according to some scholars, fell into Christianity in the 15th century due to the removal of the requirement to wear the hijab.
This post received a score of 15,000, with an upvote ratio of 98%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
The elite don't give a shit about any policy, they're trying to throw the populace some bones because they feel the heat. But the populace doesn't just want a change on the hijab policy, they want more.
That's how reforms happen, believe it or not. Bone after bone after bone, and suddenly you have a whole skeleton.
How spooky.
'Tis the season.
This is Halloween.
Boys and girls of Evi-airy age, wouldn't you like to see something strange?
Come with us and you will see. This, our town of hijab-free.
Okay, we'll rethink the hijab, just stop rioting and we can go back to murdering you in a few weeks.
Iran is about to turn into Iraq 2.0 if they don't get this revolution fixed.
Us army barges in? We're here to hasten the process. Also, where's the oil?
I think it's a bit too late for just the hijab policy to satisfy the rioters. Maybe it would have at first, but after killing hundreds of them including children, I'd expect they'll want more.
This is exactly the same situation as the March 1979 women's protest. The new government said they would not force anyone to wear the scarf. See current affairs for how that turned out. The people protesting know this. They are being supported by women who they themselves participated in the 1979 protests, who know the history and the result if they leave it at scarves.
Effective immediately, all Iranian citizens are required to wear bearskin hats with a minimum vertical deflection of 18.
Yogi has the chat.
Some simplistic geopolitical thoughts. Iran's biggest ally Russia is definitely too busy to help quell a rebellion. Saudi Arabia is on the outs with the US. Movement is popular with Western ideals. US needs an oil partner. West would love to flip another country to becoming pro-Western. US's involvement in the Iranian Revolution is one of the black marks in American history. A chance to make amends for that would be welcomed indeed. Seems like a great time to have a revolution. Iranians, you're gonna get a lot of international support at the moment.
True, but I don't think they have that kind of relationship. Yes, but Iran is a bad choice if only because of our shared history. I recall the complete vitriol when Obama helped negotiate the nuclear deal, which couldn't even be a treaty because it was a non-starter for every Republican. The Iranian government is already blaming everything on the US and Israel.
If the US made right with Britain, Germany, Japan, Italy and Vietnam, the US can form a good relationship with Iran one day.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.